number 2, Steve's gonna get ready to lay down some paint protection film.
Colorado detail. Day 2. Let's go.
The stakes are high. They risk broken bones and internal injuries.
What's up, Australia? We're coming to Sydney for 3 days to do a detailing training class, March 20th through 22nd. You can find all the information down under.
I know. We'll get clear stuff.
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah. Fair play. We're gonna do the roof first, so that's 62. To the front's like 63.
The benefits PPF, it's literally the best thing you can put on your car. But if you're in my tax bracket, then you can't afford it. So what do? We ceramic coat. But I'm gonna recommend PPF and then ceramic coating on top of that if you want the ultimate protection for your car. Do you see the stretch that it gets? So if you're flying down the freeway here and a rock comes at your car, you've got, oh shit, I don't think I can puncture it. This is PPF, so ultimate,
Go ahead.
there's no way.
I got 20 on the beard looking going on that. That's happening.
There's no way. So this is better. I would recommend this all day long if I could.
There you go.
But it is, oh, see, Cody got it. I'd recommend it all day long, you guys. It's just kind of what works for you, for your cars, for your goals for your car. If you're super crazy about your car, definitely get this. This technology is new in the sense that it doesn't yellow as much anymore. I know you guys have a lot of you have a bad connotation about PPF turning yellow. For all of those 90s cars that they just did the front end and it's yellow and gross and cracked, not the case anymore. This is really good stuff now.
It's designed with thermoplastic urethane, and it has multi-layers. You have an adhesive layer, you have the thermoplastic layer, you also have the top coat, which is the self-healing top coat, so the fine swirl marks will actually self-heal in the sun, and it's there to protect the paint below. And it's a sacrificial layer, so it's not there to, it looks good, but it's also there to protect the paint so that it can be removed and replaced easily, where paint is not easily replaced.
It's not
So we're gonna custom cut everything?
Yeah, we have to. This car is so old, there's no kit for it. At least I didn't look, but I highly doubt there's a kit for it. And most of the times back in the day, even if there was a kit, they don't they didn't do the roofs, they just did the front end parts. So we're gonna hand cut pretty much everything here. When you hand cut, you definitely wanna have a steady hand to make sure that you don't cut paint.
See, you get it. You're a detailer.
Does this help or no?
Yeah. Any light helps. We should probably turn the film. I'm gonna come. Hey, Eric, grab that corner. Just make sure your hand's wet. Go forward a little. All right. Is it over the edge?
Yep, you got about half inch in the center.
Sweet. So what I like to do is I'm gonna give it a little stretch. I'm gonna attack this little corner. You're gonna stretch it to that little bit over there. Go ahead and just give it a little tiny stretch to that way. Spray under your film with this alcohol and then just a little bit of. Okay, now we're gonna stretch forward a little bit and probably tack it to the glass just to get out these little fingers. Just tack it. Good. Nope, see how you have that finger there? You wanna pull that out? Just a little bit. We're not going crazy. Doesn't need a lot of stretch, but.
You doing the glass?
You can do on the corner there, it's fine. Just start working your way out. Just kind of push it up into there. And also what I like to do too, Cody, is if you go shorter strokes, what you can do is you can look at where you're squeegeeing, and if you see like a white piece of dirt, you can always lift it and pull it. So on this here, what we're gonna do, and I'm still kind of debating if I can get the film to go down and around, but I think I might just cut it at that bottom edge right there. Try and push all that out.
A master.
We'll do the same thing around the here. Always be very comfortable in the direction that you're cutting, so you have a nice line, not shaky. My employees sometimes they're still struggling with that, but so what we're going to do is we're going to try and push it down this groove here, flush out all the soap with our alcohol mixture. Now I have a variety of different of squeegees. I got black ones, I got pink ones, I got yellow ones, I got a hard card. In something like this, I like to have a little bit more control, so I'll use a smaller one. And I'll come in here, and I'm gonna come in here and just roll over the edge. And I would start from one edge, Cody, and then try and roll it over that. Also using your fingers to push in there. And I have a lot of excess film here, so sometimes just cutting it back a little bit helps too. All right, so now we just panel wipe the edges. We're gonna spray it off and wipe it down with the soap. I think we should have enough soap for the hood. When you're done squeegeeing that, amigo, will you go rinse this out, fill it up with more hot water for soap, and then I'll add some soap to it.
How many shameless plugs?
Make sure we go up around the corner. So 43 would be great. By 55, go 45 for some giggles. So basically 1, 2, and 3. Not a lot of soap. You don't need a lot. Shake it, shake it. Shake it up. It's like that. What's that thing?
The shake weight?
The shake weight. So right now we have the hood propped up a little bit. That way we can get a little stretch to it. We'll do one more squeegee to make sure it's nice and clean. And we'll grab the film. Now when we squeegee off this, it's just a light squeegee just to remove any dust or anything that's in there. Whenever you're dealing with film, you always want to make sure your hands are wet. Okay, just make sure it's just over the corner. Soap on the top. Turbo mode. Yeah, just yeah, that's soap. Now, everybody does it a little bit different. I actually like to work the edges inwards. The reason why I do that is because the soap tends to dry out faster as you work out. I like to work in. And so we got a few dry spots here. So we're gonna lift it up and put some soap in there. I don't think I added enough soap. And once it dries out, I'm gonna teach you guys how to wrap corners. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Usually they cut the corner. and it looks kind of crappy. I'll teach you guys how to do that. You can see we need to spray some alcohol in here, see how it's up. And my assistant, Cody, will spray some alcohol in there and squeegee it back down. Let me cut this and then you can do it. When it dries out enough to wrap the edge. If you're cutting through the film, I always have tension with my left hand. We actually might have to cut it back a little bit, but we'll see as we go. So now we have to actually cut these out. This is where the dangerous parts comes in when you're doing bulking. You want to make sure you have a sharp blade. We're going to cut these guys out here, making sure we're going to go as close to the edge. We're not going to cut the paint.
I just want to make sure I didn't walk on you. How do you know if you cut the paint?
You lift it up and you see a line. When working on small things, I like to use my tweezers. And that way, when we put everything back on, the sprayers and the emblem, it looks like it doesn't even have film on it. A lot of people, more than likely, are afraid to take things out because you break it, especially on older cars. All those seemed pretty new. Let me cut this one too, Cody. And again, you're gonna see me snap my blade, even though I just snapped it, to ensure, that's why I have a pack of 50 of them in here. Ensures that you are less likely to cut paint.
Yes, have UV protection.
Yes, it does, absolutely.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. And so does ceramic coatings.
Although it's gonna, we get a question that is asked a lot, what's better, ceramic coatings or paint protection film? Paint protection film is gonna do much better because it's a sacrificial layer that's gonna absorb and it's thick, where coatings tend to, they're great. The biggest benefit that anybody gets from a coating is easier to clean, and you do get the UV protection, but not nearly as much as you do with film. There's basically a whole paint system essentially put on your car with 8 mils of film. So I always recommend people, you're gonna choose one or the other, choose PPF first.
Do we have a paint guy in here? How much does a paint job cost?
It can vary depending on the car, the color, and the complexity of it. Paint jobs can range from $5,000 all the way up to $30,000, even more. I've seen some $50,000 paint jobs for SEMA, and people, will spend whatever they want to spend to make it as good as possible. So, you don't have to put paint protection film on it, but you're going to see a lot of rock chips.
Steve, how long does PPF last on average?
I always say, like in Colorado, what I like to tell customers is that the bumper needs to be replaced every 3 to 5 years, and the reason why is it's going to get beat up by all the shit that's on the road, especially in Colorado. So I always recommend replacing the bumper, but usually the hood and the fenders, you can 5 years, 10 years. The film is warranted usually for 10 years, and it doesn't yellow and crack, but it's always good to replace it to get a fresh start of car on your car. That should be plenty. We don't need a lot. Okay, turn it around. Spray some more soap here, just everywhere.
On the backside or?
No, the top.
We're out, bro. Literally.
No, back just a little bit. Okay, you're good.
Can we go make some more?
Yeah, please. So when you bulk, you want to put relief cuts so that the film actually flows into the areas that you want. PPF is very not forgiving when you get dirt under it, so you want to minimize any detailing or blowing shit in the air so you don't get dust under the film. So I have a lot of different size squeegees for a lot of different things. Big ones, small ones, little ones, chubby ones. And so sometimes you get to get it in there. This black one has been kind of partial. Actually flexes a little bit more than the pink one, but you always got to make sure you push hard.
How long have you been doing PPF, Steve?
I honestly can't remember. Probably since 2016 I started. Maybe no, 2015. And I had a friend who was teaching me, and then he'd leave me on a job, and I just like, screw it, I'm gonna figure this out so I can do it. And then I've taken a few little training classes here and there to just get more experience. It's always good to go to a training or host a training because everybody has something to share and learn from. And we're gonna make sure these edges are pushed down.
Is this a difficult car to work on, or?
Actually, this is pretty easy for me. The bumper is actually gonna be the hardest. That it's square and then it curves right away. So that's a good amount of stretch. And then it dips in there. So we'll see how we can get it. It might take 1 or 2 tries. Let's grab another little piece for this piece down back here. Let's get a towel and dry it off, amigo. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh God, that feels good.
Way, because it sounds weird here in the U.S.
Koch-chemi.
Steve, would it be easy
Yeah,
to
Koch-chemi.
Kosh.
bumper off the
No.
Coochie. My friend Matt calls it coochie cream.
Coochie cream?
That's close enough.
Where am I? I'm in Southern California. Today we are in Irvine at Gretty. We're working on this Honda. Where Steve is, we're all standing around.
We're supporting him.
Let's get a towel and dry it off, amigo. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's stuff going on. I'm gonna actually
Oh,
screenshot
God, that feels
this.
good.
This is ridiculous.
That's good. So we're gonna panel wipe it, get it nice and clean, and just it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. We're gonna try and get it all wrapped here. Let's get some light on here. Get it up into here as well. I don't know if you guys know Hondas, but these bumpers, actually this top part and this bottom part are all one piece, and this was just taped off and painted back in the day. So let's get some panel wipe and start prepping it. Remove oils and stuff like that and polish. Too much water in there, so just let it dry. It needs to dry. That top. Okay, alcohol.
All right, Steve and Cody are almost done. They're finishing up one more part on the front bumper, and then we're gonna get to sanding the rest of the car. We're probably gonna sand as soon as he gets that laid down, and we know that we're not gonna get any sanding or any dust in his work, so let's do it. We ready to start sanding?
True. Got discs on discs on discs on discs. We're gonna be hitting the top of the trim here with very lightly with 2000 grit. The texture is a little interesting. I'm a little nervous that there might not be a ton of clear coat on there, and we can't really tell because it's been repainted on top of the paint. But our goal is just to lightly sand it with the 2000 and knock that down, make it look smooth. I'm gonna come back and clean it up with the KXK 3000 grit, and then I'm actually gonna use some Trizact 5000 grit just to try to make it a little bit easier for us to polish this out. If you look at the area, it actually has a little peak. So we're just gonna do this area mainly where it reflects out of the sun so you can see that. And we're gonna try to avoid knocking down any of these edges and burning through. So hopefully by using 5000 grit, we'll refine it and just make it a little bit easier to polish out, and we don't have to worry about generating heat or nailing those edges. So the key to this stuff is letting the paper and the block do the work. You don't wanna put any pressure down because you might end up having a nice big tracer, like a deep gouge with your sand scratches that's harder to polish out. And if you just let the tools do the work, it's going to generally sand the way that you want it versus putting some force behind it. So see, we got a little dirt there. Knock those down and just try to make it leveled out.
I'm amazed. This is pretty incredible. Never thought I would have this kind of treatment on any of the cars that I own. But wow, yeah. I mean, I've seen it done, but not in person.
Right.
So the work that it takes, but it shows like having the right tools and right, you know, products to get the result that you want. Like, and doesn't hurt to have the dream team here working on the car.
A whole lot of knowledge right here.
Yeah. But yeah, super amazed and super grateful. Thank you guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
All right, end of the day, Steve finished the PPF on the whole front end, and Dave cut and sanded most of the doors and the rear quarter panels, and then we cut them with the cutting compound. It's been a long day. We're gonna call it a day. We just gotta do the finish polishing tomorrow and do some of the edge work, and then we're ready to coat. See you tomorrow. All right, day number 3, we stopped off at a local car show, which was awesome. OMG Miata was there and I got to meet him, so really cool with the Miata build and everything that we're doing with that. Steve and Cody finished up on the front end clear bra, so Dave finished up with the sanding yesterday, so we did the cutting, we have to polish it, and then we're almost ready. We only got a couple hours left. We're going to coat it, and I'll show you guys the finished shots. Can't wait for you to see it.